Hello children and welcome to our today's geography session. Today we will have lesson number 3 of geography. Children, in the last two lessons, that is in lesson number 1, we have learnt about the earth. Okay, earth in the solar system. We have seen about different planets, we have seen about asteroids, meteoroids, etc. and we have learnt more about sun, earth and moon in detail. And in the second lesson we have seen the importance of globe. How can we refer earth through globe? Okay, even with the videos and with the help of the globe I have shown you. Again we have seen latitudes, longitudes, why they are important, how they are important, and we have also learnt about the standard time. So these are the things which we have learnt in the last two lessons. Now in today's lesson we are going to see the different types of motions of the earth. What are the two types of motions? What do you mean by rotation? What do you mean by revolution? And many more things we are going to cover in this topic. How changes in the seasons occur, what is summer solstice, what is winter solstice, all this we are going to see in this lesson. So today's name of your lesson is motions of the earth. Okay. And the topics which we are going to cover in these lessons are, first we are going to see rotation, what are the effects of rotation, then we will see what do you mean by circle of illumination, again we will see revolution, what happens if the earth will not revolve around the sun, then we will see what do you mean by leap year, again we will see summer solstice, we will see winter solstice, what do you mean by summer and winter solstice, and lastly we will go through equinox. Equinox means what do you mean by equinox. So children, these are the topics which we are going to cover in this episode. So children, first of all there are two types of motions. Okay, motions of the earth are two types. First is rotation, another one is revolution. So rotation, what do you mean by rotation? Rotation means when the earth it moves around itself. Okay, when the earth rotates, see this is rotation children, when the earth it rotates around itself on this fixed axis. Actually there is actually the earth doesn't have any axis like that, it is just imaginary line which we imagine that the earth rotates around its fixed axis around its fixed path called this axis. Okay, so earth, when the earth moves around itself it is called a rotation. The movement of the earth around itself is called the rotation, and because of this rotation we have days and nights. Okay, and this earth is little tilted, and because of this tilted axis only days and nights are occurred. Then second motion is called revolution. What do you mean by revolution children? See, revolution means when this earth, okay, when this earth is moving around this orbit, this is the orbit, okay, it is elliptical in shape. So when this earth, when it moves, when it spins around this sun, it is called as revolution. Okay, so it takes approximate 366 days to complete one revolution, and here rotation it takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. Okay, so these are the two types of motions of the earth. First one is rotation, second one is revolution. So rotation means when the earth spin around itself, okay, because of which we get days and nights, and here revolution means when the earth revolve or when the earth spin around this orbit of the sun. Okay, this orbital plane, this is the orbital plane, and when the earth moves around this plane, orbital plane around the sun, it is called as revolution. It takes approximate 366 days to complete one revolve around the sun. So hope this is clear. What do you mean by motions of the earth? Now we will see in detail what do you mean by rotation. Okay children, so the movement of the earth on its axis, just now as I have shown you, okay, the movement of the earth on its axis. This is the axis, and on this when the movement of the earth is called as rotation. So here this axis, it makes an angle of 66.5 degree with its orbital plane. So just see here, okay, this is the axis and this is the orbital plane. So here it is making an angle of 66.5 degree, okay. So this axis, it makes an angle of 66.5 degree with its orbital plane. The plane formed by the orbit is known as orbital plane, okay. Now the earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation around its axis. This period of rotation is known as earth day or daily motion of the earth. Means this earth, okay, it takes how many hours? It takes 1 day or it takes 24 hours to complete one rotation, and this one rotation is called as the earth day, or we can call it as a daily motion of the earth, because daily the motion it continues, it occurs daily. So it is also called as earth day or daily motion of the earth. So children, just imagine, if the earth will not rotate, then what will happen? Yes, if the earth did not rotate, then what will happen? Yeah, if the earth does not rotate, then the portion facing the sun will experience day with continuous warmth, and the other half will be in the darkness and freezing cold all the time. Means if suppose it does not rotate around the sun, then what will happen? Then the portion, okay, just imagine, if the earth does not rotate, then what will happen? The portion which is facing the sun, it will have light, okay, the whole day, whole time it will have light, and the other portion will be in the darkness, and this portion will always be in freeze cold, and this portion will always receive heat and light from the sun, okay. So this what happens if the earth does not rotate, and thus the life would not be possible, okay. So what is the reason? What happen if the earth will not rotate? If the earth will not rotate, then the portion facing the sun will experience day with continuous warmth, and the other half will remain in the darkness and freezing cold all the time. Now children, we will see what is the circle of illumination, okay. Circle of illumination means the earth, it receives light from the sun, correct. Then due to this spherical shape, okay, due to this spherical shape of the earth, only half part gets light from the sun, and the portion facing the sun experiences the day, while the other half is away from the sun experience the night. So this circle that divides the day from the night on the globe is called the circle of illumination, okay. What do you mean by circle of illumination? The circle that divides the day from the night on the globe is called the circle of illumination. Just see this picture, children, okay. This is the earth and this is the sun, okay. So this part of the earth, it is receiving light from the sun. So this part will have day, and the another part, it is not receiving the light. So this area will experience night. So this circle, okay, can you see this circle? So this circle that divides the earth into day and night is called the circle of illumination, okay. Circle of illumination means it divides the areas having sunlight from the darkness, okay. Circle of illumination means it divides the area from sunlight and darkness. So this is the circle of illumination. So hope you understood what is circle of illumination. The earth receives light from the sun, then due to the spherical shape of the earth, only half part gets the light from the sun, and the portion facing the sun, it experiences day, while the other half experience the night. So this circle that divides the day from the night on the globe is called circle of illumination. And children, again once again I will show you this axis, okay, the orbital axis, the plane, the axis, it makes an angle of 66 degree with its orbital plane. And when we draw a vertical line from here, okay, from this orbital plane, when we draw a vertical line, then this axis, it makes an angle of 23.5 degree, okay. Now we will go to revolution. What do you mean by revolution? So revolution means the motion of the earth around the sun in its orbit is called the revolution. This is the motion, okay, the motion of the earth around the sun in its orbit is called the revolution. So it takes 365 days and 1/4 day, okay, means 6 hours. It takes 365 days and 6 hours or quarter day to revolve around the sun. Understood? So how many days it takes? It takes 365 days and 6 hours to revolve around the sun. Different seasons are occurred due to the tilted axis of the earth. So as the earth is tilted, okay, so due to this tilted axis, what happens? Seasons are occurred. There are changes in the seasons. So earth is tilted on its axis at 23.5 degree Celsius. Okay, see here, earth, it is tilted at 23.5 degree Celsius. Okay. And due to this tilted axis, different seasons, there are changes in the seasons, and it is tilted at its 23.5 degree axis. So hope you understood now what do you mean by rotation and what do you mean by revolution. Now we will see, children, what is leap year. Okay. So leap year. Leap year consists of 366 days. Okay. How many days does a leap year has? Leap year has 366 days, which occurs once in a 4 year. Okay. Rest other 3 years we have 365 days, and this leap year it has 366 days. Now just see, as earth, it takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete one revolution. Okay. To complete one revolution, how much time it takes? It takes 365 days, okay, 1 year plus 6 hours more. Okay. It takes 365 days and 6 hours more to complete one revolution. But for our convenience, children, we say it as 366 days. We don't say 365 and 6 hours. We say it as 366 days. So, and what we do with this 6 hours? Okay. So, this 6 hours of every year, these 6 hours of every year are added to make one extra day, that is 24 hours over a period of 4 years. See, every year it takes 365 days and 6 hours. So, like this, again second year, third year, if we add this 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, so 6 4s are 24. So, in the fourth year we will have one complete day. Okay. So, this 6 hours of every year, they are added to make one extra day, and that one extra day, it comes over a period of 4 years. Okay. And this surplus day, it is added to the month of February. Okay. Understood now what do you mean by leap year? This 6 hours, 6 hours of 4 years, they are added to one. We add this 6 hours and then we make a 1 day. Okay, 1 day is made, and that 1 day we add to the month of February, and thus this February, it has 29 days in the leap year. Rest of the year it has only 28 days, but in the leap year it has 29 days. So it comes every 4th year. Okay. So every 4th year February is of 29 days instead of 28 days. Now this is 2020, okay, 2020. So can you tell me in 2020 how many days February had? Just see that calendar or just tell me how many days Feb had? February, in this year, in the month of February there were 29 days, means this is a leap year. Okay. So, one more technique of finding leap year is just divide, children, divide the year with 4. Okay. And if the remainder is 0, then it means that year is a leap year, like 2020, 2020 divided by 4, 4 5s are 20, 4 5s are 20. So, here the remainder is 0, it means this is a leap year. Okay. So, how to find leap year? You have to divide that year by 4, and if the remainder gets 0, it means this is a leap year. So, 2020 is a leap year. Then again, when will next leap year, when it will come? It will come again on after 4 years. Okay. Next 4th year again we will have leap year, that is 2021, 22, 23, 24, means 2024 will be our leap year. If you want, you can divide this 2024 by 4. Okay. So, hope you understood what is this leap year, children. Leap year, it consists of 366 days. Okay. Every year 6 hours are taken and they are added to make one extra day over a period of 4 years, and this extra day is added to the month of February. Thus, we get Feb as 29 days in that leap year. Now, children, we will see what is summer solstice. Okay, very important point. This is topic. What do you mean by solstice? First, I would like to tell you what do you mean by solstice. Solstice means it is the time when the sun reaches its highest. Okay, its highest point means too much heat, or its lowest point means too much cold at noon, resulting in longest or shortest day of the year. Understood? So, solstice means at the time when the sun reaches at its highest or at its lowest point at noon, resulting in the longest day or the shortest days of the year. Now, there are two solstices, one is summer and one is winter. Okay. So, now we will see what do you mean by summer solstice. Children, as you know, 21st June, okay, what do we have on 21st June? 21st June we have the longest day, just in that last 2 months, in the June month we have seen, okay. 21st June has the longest day and shortest night. So, just see this diagram, children, okay. Here we have summer solstice. On 21st June, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, okay. See this earth, okay. This is the axis. So, this axis, it is tilted towards the sun, right. On 21st June, this is northern hemisphere, okay, and this is southern hemisphere, and this is the equator, okay. So, equator divides the earth in two parts, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. So, this northern hemisphere, northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, and the southern hemisphere is away from the sun, okay. Then what will happen? The rays of the sun, they will fall on the Tropic of Cancer, okay. So, northern hemisphere we have Tropic of Cancer and southern hemisphere we have Tropic of Capricorn. So, here northern hemisphere, the rays are falling on the Tropic of Cancer. That is why these areas, they receive more heat, okay, than the areas near the poles. These poles, due to the slanting of rays of the sun. So, as the north pole is facing, inclined means facing, as it is inclined towards the sun, and that is why the places beyond the Arctic Circle will experience continuous daylight for about 6 months, okay. Very important this point. As this north pole is inclined towards the sun, so the places beyond this Arctic Circle, what will happen? They will have continuous days, okay, daylight for about 6 months. Arctic Circle will have continuous daylight for about 6 months, and northern hemisphere as it is getting light in large amount. So, which season it will have? It will have summer. Okay. So, it is summer in this region to the north of the equator. Understood? That is why 21st June has longest day and shortest night at these places. Okay. So, the sun reaches at its highest on 21st June. So, summer 21st June has longest day and shortest night at these places. Which places? In the northern hemisphere. And same, what will happen in the southern hemisphere, children? In southern hemisphere, it will be just the opposite of northern hemisphere. So, in southern hemisphere, it is summer season, because in northern hemisphere it was summer. So, here in southern hemisphere it will have winter season. Okay, it will be winter at this time. The nights, so that is why then what will happen? The nights will be longer than the days. So, this position of the earth is called as summer solstice. Understood? Okay. Summer solstice means when the north pole is facing towards the sun, then these areas in these places will receive more heat. So, here the days are longer than the nights and they will have summer season, and 21st June is the longest day and shortest night, and same the opposite will be in the southern hemisphere. Southern hemisphere, it will have winter seasons. Here the nights are longer than the days, and this position of the earth is called summer solstice. Okay, hope you understood, children, what do you mean by summer solstice. Now we will see about winter solstice. Okay, now here winter solstice. So, here you have to see this picture, children. Okay, here it comes winter solstice. So, here can you tell me which part is facing towards the sun? North pole or south pole? See here, this north pole, it is away from the sun. Okay, it is not facing the sun, whereas this south pole, it is facing the sun. Okay, so the south pole is tilted towards the sun. That is why the southern hemisphere, it receives maximum heat. Okay, then which zone we will have here? Which? Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, here in the northern hemisphere we had Tropic of Cancer. Here we will have Tropic of Capricorn. So, the rays, they are falling here on where they are falling? The rays are falling on Tropic of Capricorn. So, the areas in this Tropic of Capricorn will receive more sunlight, and see, this is Antarctic Circle. Okay, so the places, the places beyond this Antarctic Circle, they will have continuous daylight for 6 months. Understood? Again, the south pole is inclined towards the sun, and this Antarctic Circle, it experiences continuous daylight for about 6 months. So, and this north hemisphere, okay, then just it will be in the northern hemisphere, it will be just exact opposite of the southern hemisphere. So, southern hemisphere, it is having day and it is having summer season. So, in the northern hemisphere, it will have winter season, okay, at this time. The northern hemisphere, it has winter solstice at this time. So, this position of the earth is called as winter solstice. Okay. Here 22nd December, it has longest day and shortest night in the southern hemisphere. Understood? Which day? 22nd December. It has longest day and shortest night in the southern hemisphere. So, children, hope you understood what do you mean by winter solstice. Winter solstice means in winter solstice the southern pole, okay, it is tilted towards the sun and northern pole is away from the sun. So, as southern pole is towards the sun, so it will have more, it receives more heat, and that too Tropic of Capricorn comes here. So, this Tropic of Capricorn, it receives more heat, and the areas near this Antarctic Circle, okay, Antarctic Circle is in the South Pole. So, the areas beyond this Antarctic Circle, they have daylight for about 6 months. Then this northern hemisphere, it has summer solstice, this northern hemisphere, it has winter solstice at this time, means here they experience winter season, and southern and the South Pole will have summer season, okay. So, whichever portion is facing towards the sun, they will have summer season, and this position of the earth, it is called as winter solstice. Then 22nd December, it has longest day and shortest night in the southern hemisphere, and here 21st June, it has the longest day and shortest night in northern hemisphere, okay, and southern hemisphere 22nd December, it has longest day and shortest night in southern hemisphere. So, hope children you understood what do you mean by summer solstice and winter solstice. If it comes winter solstice, you have to say South Pole is tilted towards the sun, and when it comes to summer solstice, you have to say North Pole is tilted towards the sun. Now, we will see children what do you mean by equinox, okay. Equinox, what do you mean by equinox? Equinox means when the whole earth experience equal days and night, okay. When the the whole part of the earth, it has equal days and equal nights are called as equinox. So, here direct rays of the sun, they fall on 21st March and 23rd September, okay. So, the direct rays of the sun, they fall on 21st March and they fall on 21st March on the earth, and they fall on 23rd September. At this position, neither of the poles is tilted towards the sun, okay. So, at equinox, see children, these two are the positions of equinox. So, here neither the North Pole nor the South Pole is tilted towards the sun, okay. So, what happens, the rays, they fall, the whole earth, it experiences equal days and nights. On 23rd September, it is autumn season, see children here, okay. On 23rd September, it is autumn season in the northern hemisphere. This northern hemisphere, it is having autumn season and spring in the southern hemisphere, okay. Autumn in the northern and spring in the southern season, and same here on 21st March, it is just the opposite. It is spring in the northern hemisphere and it is autumn in the southern hemisphere. And children, days, nights and changes in the seasons, why do they occur? Just because of the rotation and revolution of the earth. So, hope you have understood what do you mean by equinox, children. So, this was what we have learned today. We have learnt about two motions of the earth, rotation, revolution. Then what do you mean by circle of illumination? We have seen the circle that divides the sunlight from the darkness. Then we have seen the revolution. Again we have seen leap year, how to count the leap year. Every 4 year once we have this leap year. Then we have seen what do you mean by summer solstice. Here summer solstice, North Pole is facing towards the sun, so it will have summer season. Then we have seen the winter solstice. Here South Pole, it is facing towards the sun, so here South Pole is having summer season. And lastly we have seen equinox. So children, this was what we have learned in today's session. Hope you have understood very clearly. Just read the lesson. In the next session we will be going through the textbooks, and I will be showing you some videos also. So next time be prepared with your textbook. Until then, see you, goodbye. Thank you.